After a record 140 crashes at San Marino just 2 weeks before, thankfully the number of fallers at the 5.1-kilometre Motorland Aragon circuit was far less at just 37. There were 12 riders that crashed in Moto3, 9 in Moto2, and a highest of 16 in MotoGP, with turns 14 and 15 claiming the greatest number of fallers. First up, we look at FP3 and Jonas Folger as he loses the rear out of turn 2 and high sides in a very unusual crash. He had to go to hospital for a precautionary CT scan following the incident, but was declared fit for the rest of the day. Qualifying in MotoGP as Marc Marquez pushes for pole, but into turn 12 carries too much speed whilst lent over and tucks the front, bringing an end to his charge. We ride on board with the reigning world champion now as we can see just how little of a warning he got before the bike went down the road and skidded along the grass. The marshals helped him get back on track, but it was an early bath, unfortunately, for the Spaniard. Next is the downhill right-hander of turn 14 as Sam loses Aprilia, sparks along the tarmac with the British rider following. From what we can see, it looks as if he simply dropped the front end going into the turn. Regardless, it was another challenging weekend for Lowe's as he seeks to make some rapid improvements in the last 4 rounds of the 2017 season. Moto3 qualifying 1 turn later as Ayumi Sasaki high sides causing Joan Mir to take evasive action, and a concertina effect behind us. Gian Antonio, Mino and Guevara all had nowhere to go and crashed. On board with Mir as we can see just how lucky he was to avoid Sasaki before hitting the deck. Same turn but in the Premier class now as Alvaro Bautista just stabs the rear of Dani Pedrosa's Honda going onto the back straight and slides into the gravel trap. In slow motion we can see the smoke pouring off the rear tyre as the Spaniard goes down the road. Fortunately he was okay and it didn't disrupt his session too much despite being very frustrated and disappointed following the incident. And finally, we look at the last corner as Moto3's Philip Oettl high sides whilst getting on the throttle, causing the bike and him to go tumbling down the road. That's all we have time for from this time out at Motorland Aragon. Join us for the Japanese Grand Prix at the Twin Ring Motegi on the 15th of October.